Hey friends, it's Mike. It is Thursday. It's October 10th, 2019, and just before 4 p.m. here on the East Coast. I wanted to cover a couple of topics here with regard to the McCartney conspiracy. Paul is dead. The first thing I wanted to announce is I created a new channel called Mike Williams' Best of Paul is Dead. And that channel, I created it because a lot of people were writing me and saying, hey, I just got into this conspiracy and I don't know where to start. So what I did was I took the best of my shows and my presentations, what I think are the best of, and I uploaded them to this new channel. And each one of the shows is an episode. So episode 1 would be the very first show that I did with Sophia Smallstorm going back to September of 2016. And there's 29 episodes on the channel as we speak. The 29th being the recent show I did with Vince Russo, Paul is Dead, All Things Must Pass. It's the show I put up about a day or two ago. Okay, so if you are a new subscriber or you're not subscribed and you found your way here and you find the McCartney conspiracy intriguing and interesting, but you don't know where to start, hit the link down below. It's in the description box. Start with the first show and then you can make your way through the rest of the episodes and you'll get yourself all caught up. Okay, so the other thing is, over the last month, this channel, my primary Paul is Dead channel, has picked up over 300 subscribers. And it puts a big smile on my face because what that means is people are catching on. They're finding the channel, they're finding the work, and we're getting traction. And more people are starting to ask questions, so that's a good thing. Another interesting piece of data here is the Memoirs Roundtable that I did with Melinda, Wendy, and Vicky. Picked up a pretty good head of steam over the last week, and it increased by 3,000 views. Now, usually when that happens, it means that a blog or a website or multiple blogs and multiple websites with high traffic posted the show, and so that's driving traffic. And that show now is pushing almost 9,000 views on this channel, and I think it has around 4,000 to 5,000 views on my Sage of Quay channel. So between the two channels, we'll say maybe there's 14,000 views for that show. And so again, that means that people are becoming interested, at least to the point where they're curious and they want to listen and hear a little bit more about it before they make a decision. With all of this, the Twitter account has popped up by 40 followers. I mean, it's not a big number, but I'm up over 600 followers now on Twitter, which is interesting to me because I don't really pay much attention to Twitter. I use it to tweet out my blog posts. I do the blog daily, and I do anywhere between 8 to 10 posts, and I put them up on Twitter, and I use that as a way to communicate out those links. So again, it looks like people are catching on, and I'm thinking it's because of the Paul is Dead stuff. All right, so let's move down to, okay, so I did put the show out with Vince Russo, Paul is Dead, All Things Must Pass, and that was an outtake from the show that we did on the wrestling business because Vince was big time into the wrestling business, and he worked for Vince McMahon, and he was doing all of the script writing. And at the tail end of that show, we wrapped up by talking a little bit about Paul is Dead. And so I put a show together based upon that outtake. I have a number of shows like that where people wound up asking me questions. And so I've got a couple of those in the hopper. And when I have time, I'll put them together and put them out there so that you can take a listen. The show that I know a lot of people are waiting for, which the recent show I did with Vince kind of whet the appetite, whether the Beatles wrote all of their own music. That show is going to be delayed about 30 days. So I'm pushing the deliverable out to the end of November. And the reason for that is because, well, there's other stuff going on in my life, right? You have to live life. But the other thing is that, as I've mentioned, I have a team of 5 or 6 people that are working on this with me, and they're coming up with some great information. And so what I'm doing is I'm sitting down one-on-one and talking with each one of the team members. And for those that I can't speak to one-on-one, we're going back and forth with emails to be able to really understand what the findings are from each one of the team members who are participating in this project about whether the Beatles wrote all of their own music. And so I'm taking copious notes, and there's some great insights. And so it's going to take time to put it all together and to consolidate it. Aside from the half a dozen team members that are working on this with me, I have folks who are reaching out to me outside of the group who are sending me some fabulous information. And so I've got to go through that too and see how I can weave that in into the show. So what's happened is October is looking like more like getting stuff consolidated, getting stuff aggregated, and beginning the process of putting the slideshow together. And then end of November looks like when I'll really be able to get it out. I've received a number of inquiries and questions and emails and PMs from folks, and they're saying, Mike, please say it's not so, that you're not abandoning the topic and that you're going to hang in there. And so I have to keep saying this. I'm not leaving the topic. What I'm saying is I'm stepping away from the ongoing research. That's all I'm doing, stepping away from it. So if something significant takes place with regard to disclosure or something with Billy, I will hop back in and I'll do the research and I will report on it. What I'm doing is taking a break from the ongoing, because I've reached a point where it's, as I've mentioned before in other videos, it's diminishing returns, right? I'm feeling like I'm repeating myself, and I don't want to be repetitive. What I like to do is to put out new information to my audience, and so I just don't want to be repeating the same stuff over and over again. So that's how we'll work it going forward. Okay, so don't despair. I will be here. And I just did a show with Mark Devlin, a very interesting show, a format that Mark has created where we pick 8 songs, the guests, and I was the guest, 8 songs that have what we believe had very strong or powerful social commentary impact. And so that show will be out in about 2 weeks, as Mark is going through the editing process right now. And I picked my 8 songs, and 3 of them are Beatles solo songs. So I'll put that up on this channel as well. That was a very good show. It's very clever what Mark has done with that show. And so, Mark, you're probably listening to this, so I tip my hat to you, buddy. Let me see. The response from the recent show with Vince has been extraordinarily positive. I really am quite surprised, because the whole topic about whether the Beatles wrote their own music or not is a very, very controversial topic. And a lot of people, even people who are in the Paul is Dead community, don't want to hear that. I mean, they don't want to go there. They don't want to talk about that. So, in fact, I was talking to one of my team members just now, and he was saying that he's bumping up against the very same thing when he's trying to talk to people about whether they wrote all of their own music. And in other words, not talking to the layperson, but trying to talk to people who are composers or arrangers or people who are songwriters and musicians. So even people who are in that grouping, that composers, arrangers, musicians, songwriters, and so on, they don't want to talk about it. Okay? But I will say that I put that clip out, first of all, because I love having the discussions with Vince. It's always very freewheeling, and talking to Vince, it's very easy to speak to him. And the other thing is that it does lean into the topic, and it's a way to kind of ease into it without just having one show with a lot of fanfare and just like shocking everybody, right? So this way it kind of greases the skids a little bit. That's the reason why I put that show up. So again, like I said, the response has been very, very good. The comments have been extraordinarily positive. Just really good people that are subscribed to this channel, and I want to thank everybody for all of their productive and constructive input and interacting. The number of people that I've had to ban or block has been nominal. In fact, with the recent video with Vince, I think there was 3 people that I just had to block, and because their comments were just idiotic, angry, nasty, and all that. So out you go. And so that's it. 2 or 3 got the boot. Everybody else that you see in the comments section, you know, I try not to screen the comments like some people accuse me of. I really don't. If you agree to disagree, but you do it in a civil manner, a civil discourse, I'm going to post the comment. But if you're going to be nasty and ugly and all that stuff, no. No. It's not going to wind up in the comments section. I'm not going to contaminate and pollute my channel with that nonsense. I'm just not going to do it. I think that's about it. So the big news here, or the big takeaways, is the new channel, Mike Williams' Best of Paul is Dead. The link is down below for anybody who's just getting into the Paul is Dead topic and wants to get started. I'm hoping that because I've sequenced the shows by episode, that will help you do that. And the Did the Beatles Write All of Their Own Music show delayed 30 days because of the volume of material and content that I'm dealing with and that I have to put together and package. And third, I want to thank all of the new subscribers on this channel. And if you're one of the folks that's now following me on Twitter, one of the increase in 40, welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's it. Comment section is down below. Let me know what you think, any ideas, thoughts, or if you just want to say hello. Okay, have a great day, and we'll talk soon.